In my opinion, is there's more of a status than anything else. I mean, we still have overseers running around on horses for the most part. We got the police doing the same thing the overseers did. They're people who, a lot of them, not all of them, people who had no sense of power when they were younger, or they had no real financial gain, so they felt that they would get power by beating up and locking up black men and handing them over to the higher power. We're still enslaved in many ways. And we still, when I bring up his statement, it wasn't just to defend him. I say it to say this: slavery was a choice, and we still have that choice now, because these riots are showing us. Not saying I'm for the riots. What I am for is people taking a stance and saying, look, I'm not going to do this shit no more. You're not going to put your knee in my fucking neck. And I'm going to be honest, the people who recorded George Floyd dying are guilty, not as guilty, but they're guilty as well, because they made a choice because they, out of fear that's been put on us from fucking years, that the police are goddamn God. But nobody thought, yo, rush that nigga, knock him the fuck off of his neck. What's gonna happen if I do that? Okay, I might get shot, I might get arrested, but you might save a life. And I fear for myself and my son, because I'm teaching him to stand up, and my daughter, teaching her to stand up. I'm not gonna watch you kill somebody and fucking record it. Now, granted, they were scared. We can say, oh, they're not criminals for it, but the fucking cop who was blocking them off, he's one dude. There was 4 cops there. How many of y'all was fucking watching that man die? And then when you saw him stop moving, y'all are, oh, this is wrong.
Yeah, definitely. I definitely agree. I definitely agree with that. I definitely agree with that.
But we can't do the Candace Owens shit and then try to say, yes, the cop was bad, but there is no fucking buts. There is no George Floyd was this. So what? Yo, this dude could have murdered his fucking baby mother 10 years ago. That's fucking horrible.
But on the other sense,
he's not paid to protect us. The cop is. That's why when they say, how are you mad at the police, but blacks kill each other every day? It's like, yes, that's the problem we need to face. But I don't pay the Crips and Bloods to protect my neighborhoods. The people who are killing us, any cop that's killing us is on payroll by me, by you, coming out of your check right next to fucking workman's comp or whatever other bullshit we got coming out of our checks. Their salaries included in that. So I'm paying you to murder me and my people.
I understand. I definitely understand. I don't like police brutality, but right, and a killing of our people. But there's like a bigger agenda that I'm not feeling. Do you understand? There's a much bigger agenda. Okay, like if you look at right now, how many black people have been killed by the cops? Right?
Too fucking many.
As of now. Excuse me?
Since
this year, right?
Oh, this year.
It's 80. It's 88.
Okay.
Okay. And
in 2020?
2020.
Just in 6-month periods, been 88 black men killed by police.
88.
Okay.
Yes. And as of white people, it's 172.
Okay.
Now, the thing that I don't like is that they're pushing their agenda that it's just black people being killed, which is exciting the black community to, I guess, go out, riot, protest, and just like show that we are doing the rights and being uncivilized. You know, do you understand? What I'm saying?
I get that 100%. I have to, like I said, I have to double check your numbers. And if they're accurate, that's accurate. Sure,
No,
let's
yeah,
assume that your numbers are 100% accurate.
they're accurate.
Assuming
I
that's
mean,
the truth.
even
Assuming that's the truth. Here's my stance on that. The reason why Black people are more focused on Black people being killed by overseers, let's just call a spade, is because we've been killed by overseers for generations. And yes, we can focus on and say, well, it's getting better now. They only killed 88 of you. That's not an accomplishment. That's
no.
88 families without a son, daughter, father, sister, cousin. Now, granted, yes, there's 172 white families, and we should address that as well. We should address the issue with police and a whole, and maybe make allies by doing so. And I'm not against that. But the truth is, these overseers have killed more of us in our lifetime, in my father's lifetime, my great grandmother's lifetime, and so on, which is why we're addressing it. Like, yo, we've been getting killed. If the cops are killing y'all from 2016 to 2020, that sucks. They've been killing us since 1776 and before. So we're trying to.
I'm not saying that we should be concerned with the whites being killed by cops. I'm not saying that.
Well, sure,
What I'm saying is, why is the media portraying that?
because the media knows that the overseers have been killing us longer. That's why.
Do you feel that? Do you feel that way?
Hell yeah! I've been listen. I was we from New York, bro. We grew up in Stop and Frisk. That shit was happening in Queens, Brooklyn. It wasn't happening in Flushing like that, but it was happening in South Side and Far Rock and Bed-Stuy and Hollis.
Do you think
more so than it was happening?
Do you think it's not a money agenda or get a rise out of the minority group agenda?
Explain what you mean.
This pain is profitable. You ever heard about that?
Yeah, that I agree.
Pain is profitable. So all of this, like, NGOs getting money or grants or whatever it is, it's just people are profiting off of George Floyd's death.
War is profitable. Pain is profitable.
Yeah, profitable.
When exactly. all the shit that's happening, truth be told, yes, you got the Don Lemons and the fucking what's the Tucker faggot dude from fucking Fox. Whatever his name is. Tucker dude.
Tucker Carlson.
They have the same fucking agenda. I watch Fox and CNN because I laugh at both ends. Now, somewhere in the middle there's truth, but if you watch CNN's coverage on the chick who called on the bird watcher, they're appalled on CNN, and she's racist. Da 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 da. And when you watch Fox, they're saying, yeah, what she did was bad, but why'd that guy record it? Somebody fucking said that. Look, why do you record it? What do you think this is about? Oh, we all have a Karen in us. Yeah, what the fuck he was trying to say.
And guess what?
We all have.
Guess what? I don't watch any of them.
Oh, I think I lost sound. Can you hear me?
Can you hear me? I can hear you.
Okay, hold on. Let me see what's happening on my side. You went down a bit. How about now? Try to say something.
I can hear you. I can hear you.
Oh man, lost sound a little bit. I'm trying to get with my producer something. Maybe she can fix what just happened. Hold on a second. There we go. Try again.
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
Oh man, hold on. I can. You're just pretty low. It's okay, but I can still kind of hear you.
Pretty low, but you can hear me though, right?
I can still hear you though. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, listen. If we go back, right, to 1950s, 60s, whatever, before that time, it's been the KKK that's been infiltrating the police force. We know that. And
right.
And I'm sure it's happening today. I'm 100% sure there's some KKK member in the police force somewhere in America. I believe there's a lot of them. And there's a lot. I don't
I'm
know how
sure
many there are. I
that's
don't
like
know how many
saying
there.
I'm sure that there's some bus drivers on the bus. There's a lot of this, but maybe a lot.
There's a
The
lot.
KKK and the police are fucking hand in hand in most cities in this country.
But
You know,
the problem is, they're bringing down the sanctity of law enforcement.
the sanctity.
The
I'm gonna be
sanctity of
honest with
law
you.
enforcement.
I don't I don't I don't know the sanctity of law enforcement. I haven't, like I said, I've seen. Put it this way: the whole idea of bad apples to me. I'm gonna quote Chris Rock when he said that some jobs shouldn't have bad apples, like pilots. You know what I mean? You have to be a good fucking cop, and most police have a gang mentality. Even the good ones. Oh well, I don't want to snitch because if I snitch on another
And
cop,
that's a problem. That's a problem. That's a problem.
that's a big problem for, and apparently it's a problem for 172 white people this year as well,
Exactly.
because the gang mentality is the reason why the riots are happening. If cops, if the other three cops knocked that motherfucker out, you know what I mean, just for trying the shit he was doing on George Floyd, he'd be alive right now. And if the people recording didn't have a slave mentality and they fought back, George Floyd would be alive right now. So I have a problem with people talking about certain things, and when it's their time to take action, they don't do. You know, I'm afraid that there's a good chance I'll be murdered by a cop someday. Who knows? I'd
You
hope
really
not.
think that? You really think that?
That's my biggest. I'm more concerned with that than the fucking healthcare, dude.
Well,
I'm a licensed gun owner, a business owner. Never had a fucking I don't have no record. You know what I mean? I'm fucking. I live in the Poconos. However,
but
when I drive
right.
down the street, my gun is locked and loaded. And if a cop sees me and I tell him, listen, I'm armed, everything's okay, there's a good chance that I can get shot down with my baby in the back.
Well, you should just answer it. Just answer what he
He
says.
listen,
Don't just.
we
I
listen.
mean,
I'm
look.
just
I've
answering is great, but what if I get one of those bad apples who just doesn't
I
give a fuck?
I've been stopped so many times.
Hold on, I gotta fix your sound. Man, hold on, give me 1 second. Can you hear him? You can hear him clear? All right, so it's on my side. Hold on 1 second. I'm gonna try to change my sound on the other one so I can pick you up. Apologies. Sorry to hold this up a little bit. Just want to fix this a little bit so I'll make sure that I can answer what you're saying properly without just assuming what you're talking about. I'm gonna put your sound on my other phone. One second, bro. Give me 1 second. All right, it might give you a little bit of an echo, but there we go. Okay, say something for this.
Can you hear me?
We're fine now.
All right. I
Okay, I'm
mean,
gonna mute my
Adam,
mic over here.
I've been stopped so many times, right? And even like through stop and frisk, me and my boys were going to the club or whatever it is, you know. Um, um, we've just been cool, just been really cool, and I just do what they say. Basically, that's it. I mean, and just know your rights. Another thing is knowing your rights, man. Knowing your rights. Oh, can we search your car? No, we can't search your car. Oh, I can't hear you.
How about now? Can you?
Yes.
Perfect. Okay, there we go. Perfect.
Okay.
Do you have an echo as well or no?
A little bit, but it's okay.
Okay. All right. Knowing your rights is one thing, and
Yeah.
I'm not against that. And I believe that every American, every Black American, which my daughter can tell you, you know, the Bill of Rights, and she knows where she's supposed to, where she stands, and she knows her rights. But that doesn't mean that one of these bad apples won't still murder you, and that's the problem that we're having. You know, we both grew up in the same shit. Stop and frisk was bullshit. I got pulled over because I had a do rag on, and I fit a description. But does that mean that our solution is just say, okay, sorry, Mr. Overseer, I'm trying to be respectful. You know, yes, I'm a licensed gun owner. Yes, I'm doing everything you're saying I'm supposed to do. And he can still say, well, you know, you shifted wrong, you moved, and it won't be a murder that he gets off on because he can say that he was scared. Or they slap me with a manslaughter charge after cuffing me and shooting me in my back because I was hostile at a train station like Oscar Grant. You know, these are things that are happening, and we can't just brush it off and say that the I don't know about the 172 white people that were killed, but I don't know how many of them were handcuffed with and shot or unarmed or any. I don't know. I haven't researched that, but I
Mm-hmm.
do know that in large numbers we're being killed, even if we know our rights. Every Black man who's got shot didn't just fucking um irritate the cop outside of maybe saying, "What are you pulling me over for? Why are you searching?" No, you can't search my car. I'm just in Walmart buying a BB gun. Somebody called you in and you shoot me down dead, even though Walmart sells fucking BB guns. You're shooting first rather than asking questions because somebody got scared and called it in. There's a Black man with a gun, not knowing that he's using the gun that was purchased here. You got a part of me. We're all quarantined home with our children, so
But you know what? Like, I just basically look at the numbers, and I don't feel like it's it's as severe as the media portrays it to be. Do you understand what I'm saying? I know it happens, and it's a tragedy, and it's like an atrocity as well. But as far as like saying, "Oh, we're being gunned down every day," I can't hear. Oh, as far as saying that we're being gunned down every day, is it's just not true. I mean, there's 18,000 police stations in America. 18,000. So if one police station was shooting a person or kill a Black person a day, that's 18,000 a day. Do you understand what I'm saying? So the numbers is is even less than 1% of thousands of a percent. But as we're being portrayed by the media, it's being pushed for an alternative agenda, in my opinion.
I won't disagree that the media is monopolizing on a bad situation. That doesn't mean it's not a bad situation. You know, we
Exactly.
can't get distracted and say, "Oh, well, because this person is gaining." Oh, let's go spade to spade. You know, I have a podcast or somebody else who is actually speaking about what's happening is trying to get their voice out there. You know, for for the right reasons or the wrong reasons sometimes. And I believe we have to filter through the bullshit and get to what's actually happening. Candace Owens is somebody who is monopolizing off of a bad situation and doesn't give a fuck about um, what her audience believes. You know, if you're gonna sit there and say that George Floyd was a woman beater or whatever the fuck she said, or he broke into somebody's house and she was pregnant and he went to jail for that. Okay, look, he was not a saint, but it doesn't mean he deserved to be murdered.
No.
Trayvon
Oh,
Martin,
see,
Trayvon Martin may have had his middle finger up on his Facebook. Why are we showing that picture other than trying to justify his murder? And people say, well, George Zimmerman, he was afraid. Well, how often are you afraid and pursue somebody? And
no,
why were you afraid? Why were
no.
you
Listen,
afraid?
listen. She didn't
Oh, you
say
saw a
like
black dude walking, so you were scared. That's
she.
what he's trying to say is his reasoning for killing this kid.
What Candace Owens said was it was bad. She agreed. She wants the cops to be prosecuted and everything, but she said she's not going to glorify George Ford. She doesn't want to glorify him because of his criminal past.
Who
You
has been
understand what I'm saying?
glorifying him?
What's that?
Who has been glorifying him? Can you hear me?
I can hear you. I can hear you.
No, I said, who's glorifying him? Just because his name's on my shirt, I'm not glorifying his life. I'm talking about his death. I'm saying that, look, this is another one. I'm not saying that this man was a saint. I don't
I
know
agree with you.
Oscar Grant. I don't know goddamn Sean Bell.
I agree with you.
But does that mean that Sean Bell could have been a terrible person to his family or friends? But he also was somebody who got murdered the day before his wedding by undercover cops. Amadou Diallo could have been a terrible person. Does that mean that we have to bring that up because the cop killed him? So what are we doing when we do that? We're defending, on some level, she is defending those police officers. No, whether she wants to say so or not. When you bring up somebody else's flaws, if I tell you that I got into a fight with somebody and why'd you hit him? Well, he said such and such and such and such to me, so I beat his ass. Well, that's assault. Yeah, well, he also was a child molester. I heard something. Oh, well, yeah, that, what I mean? I'm not gonna, you see what I'm saying? You're giving a little bit of a leeway to yourself or to the murderess, whether she knows she's doing it or not. And I believe she's very intelligent. She's
Well,
brilliant, honestly.
but also, what I got out of it is that if if you don't want a run-in with the police, you basically just keep a straight and narrow life. Do you understand what I'm saying? It's like,
Say that one more
but
time. I'm sorry.
she said it's basically like she said if you don't want to run in with the police, you just want to keep away as far as possible from them as much as you can. Like, just live a straight life. So I mean, that's she brought up the life of crime because, I mean, the more instances you have in crime, those possibilities of running in with the police and some shit happening is more. Do you agree or less?
Well, sure. I mean, the likelihood of running into the police if you live in a life of crime is higher. However, if you're a truck driver, you deal with DOT every day or a few times a week. I deal with cops regularly just on a random stop. If you drive more, you're more likely to have an accident. If you drive more, you're more likely to run into state troopers. And that state trooper may see me in the car and have questions. I was driving one time. I had a brand new. I had a 2019 Freightliner Cascadia. I had a 2019 trailer. Now, because they're both brand new, I got a temp tag in the front and the temp tag in the back. I get pulled over on a Jersey Turnpike by 3 cops. Open my door with guns out. I don't gotta listen. What do I do? My gun's not on me because I'm in Jersey. And they're like, oh, well, license and registrations, this and the third. And the cop says, well, we stopped you because we saw both temp tags and that's suspicious. And I said, it's not suspicious. They're brand new. I just pulled them. So bill of sales. I got them yesterday. he's apologetic and, oh, I'm sorry. And, how much did it cost? Just curious. And I said, well, between the two, both of them, 6 times your yearly salary. Now, was I agitating the cop? You just fucking pulled a gun on me. Now you apologetic. So I'm supposed to be like, oh, yes, semester. Oh, I just got these trucks and other. Fuck that. You just pulled it. You threatened my life 2 minutes ago.
Yeah, understood.
Not living a life of crime, bro.
Understood.
But I could have been murdered. And now, granted, that cop laughed and I'm sorry, da, 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 da. But if he was one of the bad cops, I could have been dead just for speaking poorly to him. He could have been offended. What are you trying to say? Am I supposed to bow down?
No, we spoke about this a long time ago. I mean, basically, police procedures and how they approach African American males or African American women has to change. Like, it's like even just everyone in general, like their whole procedures have to change. We agreed upon that. But I think just like policies outside of this that we have a little disagreement on. But there's no reason that they should be having guns drawn on you. Absolutely not. I mean, that happened to me basically. Shit. We growing up in the hood, stop and frisk. We've definitely had guns drawn on us when they approached the car. And my point on them was just like, all right, my hands are going to be glued to the steering wheel. I'm not going to do anything to like agitate or just like, have them a reason to shoot me. At the end of the day, basically, your job is to come home to your loved ones. And that's any means necessary. Come home to your loved ones.
Well, I know that's happened to you because we grew up in the same neighborhoods, and I know that, which is why sometimes I'm confused. A lot. Which is why sometimes I'm confused on your position. Only because you've dealt with bad police. You've dealt with bad cops, and somehow, and not that I'm confused, what I believe is the blinders sometimes come on where it's like, well, look, Trump says law and order. And if you go against law and order, you're going against your group. You see what I mean?
I understand, but here's the thing. I've dealt with bad apple seeds, yeah, and they are, I guess, putting mud into the law enforcement, right? Let's say there's 100 cops. Let's say there's 100 cops in the police station. Let's say there's 5 bad seeds. Like those 5 bad seeds are fucking up the whole police station. Do you understand what I'm saying? But on the same side, those 95 can be doing good. Now, if those 95 see those 5 doing something bad, they should be like, yo, listen, you shouldn't be doing that. Do you understand what I'm saying?
If those 95 see those other 5
doing something bad,
let's say those 5 bad seeds have been bad seeds for 30 years. You know what I mean? They're veterans about to retire. For 30 years, those 5 have been bad, and that 5 expanded to 10. And then now there's 200 officers and 10 bad seeds. In my mind, if the other 190 quote unquote good cops did nothing, then we have 200 bad cops. Because
agreed.
Your job is to protect and serve. It's on the side of your car. And you sat there just because you didn't want to seem as if you were a snitch. So I'm not a snitch. So I'm not going to tell on these bad 10 who are making us all look bad. And here's my solution to this problem. I think this is what we should do. We should penalize the station, not in terms of locking up cops. I think that cops are underpaid, and we should give bonuses to cops for having no instances over a year. But when you have one bad seed who stood on somebody's neck. Now your entire fucking the whole 200 cops get docked $10,000 for that year. I guarantee you start hitting their pockets. Oh, now it's like, now we got to get
I
these
agree.
5 out of here. You know what I mean? But since there's no penalty for being a bad cop, other than, you might get a slap on the wrist. But if you take finances out of their pocket, we're gonna say, look, if you do good, you get a bonus of 10,000. But you lose that $10,000 bonus. That's a sense of enough. We're not gonna take your regular salary. You got kids, no problem. But if there's no instance from your precinct, everybody here gets a bonus. I guarantee you they'll start snitching.